I forgot if I did an intro, so if I didn't, hey guys, it's me, Karen, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. Dude, I miss you guys. I miss chatting with you guys. I miss reading all of your guys' comments. I have not talked about this topic because it's about my family and I was working through a lot of tough emotions, but I'm ready today. So please sit back, relax. Actually, it might be hard to relax because this is a little intense of a story. But grab your coffee, grab your snacks, let's hang out, have some girl time. So I've actually recorded all of this already, this heart to heart, but I didn't hit the sound, so the whole thing was muted. So I'm gonna get ready with you guys again, take off my makeup. So it's gonna seem a little funny that I'm doing this right now, but I think it's really important that I finally do this video. It's been on my mind since last year, maybe even more than a year now, since I have not posted vlogs consistently. I would say this heart to heart will end up being in 3 parts. The first part will be about my family, and the second part will be about friendships. That's a little bit more comical, and honestly, I feel like it's the life lessons I need to learn even in my 30s. And the third part will be about my fertility journey, which is still an ongoing thing. Every time I talk about it, I get really emotional about it because it's difficult. But this is my 3rd time talking about it, so now I don't think I'm gonna like be tearing up since I've cried about it already 3 times. Okay, this is really hard for me to talk about because it's really against my Libra nature, someone that just likes peace, to bring up these things online. I've talked to Leo about it because a lot of this is his family, my family, our family. That's why I've kept my mouth shut this entire time, and I just didn't feel like I wanted to make it a public thing. It has really hindered my mental health, and I just didn't know how to come on here and be real and honest with you guys without ever talking about this huge elephant in my life. So the last time I've actually filmed a real vlog with you guys was about a year ago. And then ever since then, I've had very sporadic vlog uploads. It's been really hard for me to post about my life because I feel like vlogs is supposed to be like happy, a joyous thing, and I was going through something very alone, very private, just between our family, and I've just jumped right into it. Last year when I last posted that me and Dev were going to America, and I also mentioned that me and Dev were living in Hong Kong alone without Leo. All of this was because my father-in-law was very sick, and a lot of you guys were actually really, really sweet and were checking in on him and, making sure that he was okay. Before I go too deep into it, he is so healthy right now. He's doing really well, and my in-laws actually moved out of California to out of state. They're doing really well. They've been on vacations ever since he was hospitalized. But during the time when he was hospitalized, it was a very turbulent, emotionally, mentally draining situation for everyone involved. And if you've ever had a loved one that's ever been hospitalized for anything at all, you would probably understand how stressful it is. I was not there a lot of the times. Leo actually left a month before I showed up to California. When I was talking about it with my parents, we had agreed that it was important for Leo to go to be with his mom and dad. He didn't want to go. He felt like everything was going to be okay. You never want to think otherwise, but we were also so far away from the States that I just didn't want there to be a chance where he would not be able to be by his dad's side if anything had happened. Unfortunately, at the time when this was happening, Hong Kong did not have any international flights besides Cathay Pacific. So it was only one airline that was flying out of Hong Kong, direct flight to the States, and therefore it jacked up all of our economy flight prices. One economy ticket was over $4,000+. It was ridiculous. But when you're in situations like that, you definitely pay for things like that without a thought. Without a thought, we bought a ticket for Leo to go fly back to see his dad, and he ended up going back for over a month that his dad was hospitalized. And every single day he went to the hospital. It was very emotionally draining because he wasn't sure if his father was going to make it, and it was really difficult for him to have to experience that daily, to be away from his wife and his daughter, and also to be the emotional support for his mother. it was also a lot for Dove at the time, because you can imagine, like, she was without his dad. That was around her every single day of her life until that point, and at nighttime she would cry almost nightly for Leo and asking, where is my dad? So it got to the point where I was like, you know what, like, I didn't think at the time it was necessary for me to fly to California and bring Dove, because she was so small. I felt like we were just gonna be a burden during a time like that. It got to the point where Leo was mentally so unstable that I had to book a flight the next day, because I was so worried about him. And I took Dove on a flight alone. I think it was like a 14-hour flight to the States, and it was definitely one of the harder things I had to do. Definitely something I would have not thought twice, because it just what we do for family. And when I got there, I think I'm going to say this before I get too deep into the story, because I feel like it's important to preface this, because I love my in-laws and I have loved them since the day I met them. I love everyone I meet until they prove to me that they're undeserving of my love. And that is my weakness, which is also my strength. I wouldn't have it any other way. And even though all of this stuff has happened, I still wouldn't change my character. But I also think that in situations like that, that's so difficult. It brings the worst out of people. And during that time, I think it brought the worst out of everyone. I never thought that I have to bring this topic back up ever again. But like, when I first started dating Leo, I knew that his parents didn't like me, didn't support his relationship with me, because I did not have like a real job. And it's still a topic even to this day. After 10 years I've been doing this, I still need to get a real job, because my job is not a real job, even though I've been doing this for 10 years. And I'm not gonna lie though, like, I have been so understanding of all of this, and I don't mind it, because I understand, like, we're from a different generation and they didn't grow up with the internet, so it's really hard for them to understand how you can make a living off of something that's so quote unquote unstable, although I've been doing this for 10 years. They just didn't want him to be with me for a very, very long time. I think like when things changed was when Leo would fight for me and tell them, stop saying these things about me. Obviously, eventually we got married, we had a child, and I think like the marriage and child part was the honeymoon stage, but I didn't realize until I went to the States and like all of this was happening. It was a very heavy time for everyone, but also everyone's like true colors came out, that, oh my goodness, they did not like me this entire time, and have been really angry with me. And honestly, like, I felt like everything was blamed on me. And when Leo would ask what I did so that I could get better, and I want to know what I did to improve so that our relationship would be healthier, they couldn't say why. Like, they don't know why they don't like me. They just don't like me. And actually, they do know why. It's because we moved to Hong Kong. And I definitely felt like I was not welcomed in the home. I had no choice. I had to go to the States to be there for my husband. Like, he was in a really, really dark place, and he was begging me to be there because he's been apart from me and Dove for over a month, going through this really difficult thing without us. It was really hard to find out during such a hard time that they never really claimed me as their family, and everything that is wrong is because of me. And even to this day, like, there's really not ever a pinpoint of what I did for them to not support our relationship or just me in general, except for the fact that we have moved to Hong Kong. That was a huge reason. It's hard for them to communicate why they're upset, because it's like, well, we've been here for a long time now, 2 years when this all happened. I just think that my in-laws were upset that Leo wasn't around during a really hard time and he was in Hong Kong, and that he had to leave for Hong Kong eventually. And I think they just really wanted him to be around, which is very, very fair. But I also think like it's really unfair to blame it all on me and say that I'm the reason we're in Hong Kong. No, it's not just me. Like, Leo and I both made the decision to come here for a better life for ourselves and for our daughter. That situation was really, really tough to really kind of be blindsided that like, oh my God, I flew to you to support my family, to be there for my family, and then to realize like, oh my God, you really hate my guts. You really don't want me to be there, and like you blame me for everything. Just if there's something that I could tell my younger self, make sure you choose a partner whose family also likes you, because you're not just marrying your partner, you're marrying the whole family essentially. And as much as like Leo's a really good husband and he'll always defend me, always choose me, which is very important if you have a mother-in-law that does not care for you like that. It's very important, and we've been very strong through this. It's very hard to, like, as you can imagine, for my husband to have to choose, like, who wants that? You know, you love both of these people. These people are so important to you, and it's very hard to be put in a situation where, like, you kind of have to choose. And I hate this because not the way I vibe. I want love, I want family. I choose that every day, any day, over hating on anybody, because that's just so dumb, like to waste all your energy to do that. I think like this whole year I've just been healing from that kind of hurt. This whole time I haven't spoken anything about it, and even if I feel like if my parents or my family members knew I was talking about this online, like they would not be supportive of this decision. But I also feel like it's so unfair that I'm supposed to protect somebody that don't care about me like that will talk about me in the most negative way. Why? And like I'm like here mentally not being okay, and like have this whole part of me like shut down because I'm trying to protect somebody who don't even care about me like that. I really feel like the tides are turning. I've been a lot happier. I've been a lot more integrated in Hong Kong. In 2022, I believe, like that's when I started going out and having more of a social life, started to build a community in Hong Kong. And if I were to tell my younger self a tip, a life lesson, something to my 20s, I would say make sure you choose a partner and be sure that their parents, their in-laws love and cherish you, because you're going to have a family with this person and these people are going to be your family. It's really difficult to have people that don't cherish and love you, because you deserve it. You really deserve to be loved and cherished because you're such a wonderful person. That's my heart to heart. It's not the happiest ending, but it is a positive ending because I'm choosing me now, and I choose to stop protecting people that don't choose me. Thank you for listening to my heart to heart, and I really miss like just sitting here and being vulnerable and connecting with you guys online and having just like these long conversations. And there's gonna be more coming, more tea. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.